Hey there YouTube, this is Wheelchair21, and on today's rolling review it is SH Figuarts Broly. Yes, Broly has a Figuart, and the best part about it is one of the largest Figuarts in existence. Just look at this box already, you can tell it's huge. Comparing it to two basic Tamashii brand Figuarts, such as Kamen Rider Zo and SHF Dragon Ranger, you can see he's already about 2 inches larger to almost 3 inches larger than the normal figure as well in box, which is amazing nonetheless. Now, the Broly box kind of follows suit with normal Dragon Ball Figuarts, having the face and weird pixelated like box design. Even the backing is basic Dragon Ball Z, where instead of just seeing a collage of images, he is actually photoshopped over a weird explosion-like background, as well as explaining the cool features that a Figuart possesses, such as he comes with a Tamashii stage and his blaster shell effect pieces, or the Omega Destroyer, if I recall that is one of its various names, on the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Anyways, let's get down to the figure at hand. Starting off, before we go into points of articulation, we have the figure itself, 2 additional faces, 3 blast effects, as well as 2 pairs of additional hands. 1 actual blast, and 1 clutching fist. Or I should say 1 clutching hand. 1 to do the gigantic hammer, the other one to actually shoot off his blast, or the other one to hold his blast in a vicarious way to just be intimidating nonetheless. Anyways, the 2 optional faces are okay, but I'll show you how to switch them out anyways. Here is Broly, finally out of package, out of box, everything. And as you can see, a lot of his points of articulation are obviously visible and are not able to be hidden, especially because of his naked upper body, his naked upper torso, showing off his big-ass, bulky muscles. I mean, he is Broly for a reason. He's supposed to be a just beast. A goddamn beast. He is the legendary Super Saiyan nonetheless. It's funny that his hair is not fully green. It actually has the basic Saiyan glow with a little bit of green tint to it, just to add in that effect of the legendary-like aura that he gets. One cool aspect is his actual, I would say, body wardrobe, I guess his legging dress, his belt dress, or whatever. I don't really know what you would call it. I know this is possibly just his shirt and jacket, actually do have points of articulation. Yep, everything but the ass end has articulation. The sides have articulation, as well as the front end flaps up and down. So, his war gown, his war dress actually moves, his legs can move, his knees can bend, his toes are on ball joint hinges, and has the basic toe joint, as well as a wide range for his actual shoulder, and well as his double jointed elbows. Now the wrist joint is not there, it is just a circular 360 motion, which is understandable, especially because of how his forearm is constructed. His abdomen, however, has 2 joints right here with the pectoral muscles and his abs down here. He also has limited motion in the neck. Very limited. Very freaking limited. Now, if one wants to switch out the vicarious 3 faces, all you have to do is just pull his face off and replace it with whatever face one may desire. However, I just personally like to use this face the most, the shouting face, the Kakarot face, because, well, Broly's iconic for his immense shoutings. As stated, Broly loves to shout, so why do I really need to use the other 2 faces? I mean, when one sees them closer up, it's just him smirking. One is just a basic smirk, the other one is more vicious smirk. Pulling out more of the chagrin that he gave after he blew up that one planet in the movie, where he's just like, guess I should have thought better. That's probably the second best face, rather than just the plain smile face. Honestly, since his pupils are not there, you just see pure white. You don't really need many reflections except the ones that make you want to put fear into people. That's why The shouting one is the best one, especially when one wants to, crush your enemies or blow them up. Now, when in doubt, do both. Have them use the gigantic hammer and have one of the hands hold the blaster shell, because honestly, it looks cool, especially when you put a Dragon Ranger in there, because, the fandom just loves bashing JDF these days. Now, if you're an anime fan and don't understand the joke, well, you gotta understand I'm also a Tokusatsu fan and Power Rangers fan. And that's just the trend going on, is you gotta bash either JDF or Austin St. John. I could choose to do both in this review if I wanted to. But, Broly only has two hands, so I had to choose one or the other, so we're just gonna go with the basic one right now. We'll wait at least 5 years till, Austin St. John's, huge thing blows over and everyone turns on him. Anyways, the thing is, using the gigantic hammer, you gotta use a Tamashii stage. Luckily, it brings you one. Or I should say gives you one. It also gives you a nice new giant claw effect, which actually works on Broly to keep him standing and balanced. That's a cool thing. I didn't notice it when it was in the package, nor did I really care at the time. I just wanted to get this figure out on display. I've had it out on display for a couple of days. I've played around with the figure. I've not had any need to really use this claw effect, because the figure actually is well balanced. It does have some top-heavy issues, which it really depends on how you pose the figure, but once you have it in a nice level place, it normally stays. Now, the blaster shell, normally it cannot really be held by the hand. It actually has a little hole in the bottom here, which is for plugging into other Tamashii stage pieces, and usually propped onto an actual stage. I would have liked this effect a lot better if it actually came with an additional hand to each version of the figure. So pretty much for the 2 pairs of additional hands, I wish 2 more pairs were given with a Tamashii plug attached to it, so it could more accurately hold the blast in his hand to be featured like it could in the show, rather than the shadow effect of the stages. But nevertheless, if you have the hand up like that, it can actually hold the blaster shells easily as possible. Now, for our final evaluation, the figure is wonderful. It is one of the most amazing Figuarts ever in existence due to its immense size. I don't think I've ever seen a Figuart as big as this. There have been some in the past originally made to be this big, but they were normally canceled. The Gamel is, I think, the second biggest Figuart in existence next to Broly. Broly, I think, beat that one. If you don't know Gamel is a Greed from the series Kamen Rider O's. Now, the things I don't like about this figure, it can be top-heavy. Its joints are more obviously visible than past Figuarts. And the only other thing is his leg dressings. The ball joints are great, but they kind of bump into each other. That's kind of a common thing with other Figuarts that have a similar structure to at least that kind of leg dressing. So it's not that big of a deal. Likes are the actual chrome golden metallic paint around his forearms and on his boots, as well as his belt and his necklace. I like that aspect. It's really cool. It's really great. I really don't have much more I can say, except that for people looking for this figure, you're going to have a hell of a hard time getting it. Especially because in Japan, it was a Tamashii Web Shop exclusive, and in America, it was even more limited than it was intended to be. It was so bad that almost a lot of the retailers that get their Figuarts through distribution of Bluefin Tamashii barely got most of their orders met. And I mean it. They barely got most of their orders met. And I luckily got one of these figures through Barnes & Noble, through their online website. As soon as I got it, and I even tweeted out the link to some friends, the thing practically sold out within the day. But then a couple of times it seemingly restocked due to possible cancellations. Now, so, you're going to have trouble getting it. I pretty sure know it. Is there going to be a reissue? I don't know. Where can people find it? I don't know. How can people get it? I don't know, but you're going to be paying out the ass. This thing is already going for $300 on eBay. I heard one spiked up to $700 on a bid war. So there are people dedicated to getting this figure for odd knows what price. So to those of you who actually go on these bid wars, good luck. Hope you get your figure. I enjoy it. Maybe you can find somebody who is graciously enough, has more than one, more than two, and is willing to sell it for near retail price. Anyways, this has been a rolling review from Wheelchair 21. I highly recommend it for the Dragon Ball Z fan to get this figure because he is also the first movie exclusive character to ever be made. You can find other rolling reviews such as this Broly, or SHF Dragon Ranger, or any SHF that I own here on my channel, or you can sometimes find it on Herotaku.com, because heroes are among us, and all these guys, well, somehow have a role in playing hero or villain. As well as, you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and, well, that's all. I don't have a fan page on Facebook, so, yeah, there's no Facebook. We'll see you next time with more rolling reviews, duels, DVDs, card game shenanigans, and vlogs. We'll see you next time.